Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Tuesday, day before CPI numbers. How is everyone doing? Good morning, John. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, Legion Reaver. Good morning, Jacob. Remind me we can take a look at Microsoft. Fed rate cut expectations are lowering. They actually were pricing out a June cut, but that's back as the default this morning based off the CME Fed watch. Gold keeps chugging along. What else do we have? What else do we have in here? Yeah, the NFIB business optimism has been trending down since December. That is a very true statement. What else? Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Tony. All right, we'll wait for some more people to filter in. We also had Redbook coming out this morning. Redbook still, Redbook printing a strong number, still climbing. So interesting. Spending is not yet done. We have the RCM TIPP Economic Optimism Index coming out 30 minutes after the cash open, and then it is a very quiet day. Just a bill and a note auction. And API crude oil stock change this afternoon. So, good morning, Charles. Good morning, Mark. Yesterday was the lowest volume S&P 500 trading day since Black Friday. I did not realize that. Thank you for pointing that out. That fun fact, Sterling. Lots waiting on the inflation tomorrow. The core CPI number coming out tomorrow, and we don't really have any earnings going on, so there's not much. But this morning, you got chips doing strong. Microsoft's rallying, Google, Meta, Amazon, so the mega caps holding up. The oil's pretty neutral. Oil's looking a little tired. In terms of your groups, you have comm services, consumer cyclical technology. Leading, the only thing pulling back is basic materials after a very strong day yesterday. Fed watch is still pause in May and just slightly favors a cut still in June. Fear and greed back solidly in the middle of greed mode. Again, nothing. Tilray after the closed WD-40. Nothing matters unless you're holding. Tomorrow before you open, you have Delta Airlines, and that's really it. So that's why it's a super quiet week. The March Madness is done with the win by UConn. So we have it right there. I like trading ranges. Trading ranges can be a very good thing. So speaking of trading ranges, here's really the areas I'm looking at. 52, about 45. We're going to bump that down a little. 52.45 for the key support. 52.70 is key resistance. If it gets above 52.70, 52.80, 52.80.25 is my next key level on any rally up. But, we've been really in a choppy trading range. And if something breaks out, I really need some kind of follow through, like a close and then a successful retest. For example, not this. You close and then immediately losing the level. That is not. I like to watch for something, to break above and then pull back that level, then hold and rotate back up. Same thing for a breakdown. Not an immediate breakdown and a snap back in. That's just some stop hunting, traditionally. So that's what I like to watch for, because other than that, I'd favor a stronger range-bound day than anything else. Now, anything can happen. But with the CPI coming out tomorrow, and as Sterling just pointed out, the low volume, it would need to break above for bullish mode and then retest. I'd rather, again, miss a trade than get sucked in the wrong way for a quick reversal. So if you like trading ranges, keep an eye on that. Again, the key support around 52.45. Can't get overly bearish unless it breaks below 52.36. And also, even if we break above this 52.70 area, 52.69, 52.70, can't get overly bullish unless it gets above 52.80, especially follows through with a close. Going with the NASDAQ, your levels are about 18,380 for key resistance. Support, we have a little range. The first major support is about 18,275, but I can't get bearish. Well, you can get bearish whenever you want, but I can't get bearish until below about 18,235. The key closing area is 18,462.50. So, and then it's still using the harmonics for both these on the way up. So that's where it sits. The potential double is still in place with the NASDAQ. There is no potential, going back to the S&P, there's no major topping pattern there. As I mentioned yesterday, if we break below Thursday, Friday's lows, I'd be watching for a quick trip to that 50. No, I'm not talking today. I'm talking, if CPI comes out very hot tomorrow and we break down, that could be a major target area over the next few days. The Dow, again, not doing anything, same thing. See, that's why I don't focus on highs, because highs and lows, the highs can keep spiking up, but if you really look on a 1 or 4 hour chart, you can really see the key resistance area. I don't mind if it spikes above there, because I'm still looking for it to catch on there and then rotate back up for a breakout. Same thing for a breakdown. But if you look at the candle bodies, it really helps to find the key support and resistance areas. Like on the Dow, 39,285 for key resistance, 39,170 for key support. So that's where that is, and there's no key closing area just yet. There's no key close. What is interesting is the rotation zone on the Dow has actually closed to bear. With this, remember, we don't trade crosses, but this alerts me to things are breaking down. So first it shifted to neutral mode on the close on the daily time frame. Remember, it's time frame dependent. The weekly is still in bullish, but the daily went to neutral mode back on the 2nd of April, and now is officially in bearish mode because it has not been able to regain it, and now it has the cross. That does not mean, oh my gosh, from a longer term perspective, the market's going to dive. It means the market could continue to pull back into the rotation zone on a longer term basis and still catch. There's no longer term topping pattern just yet. The market is deteriorating. We had the little minor double top that already played out, and now it's shifting to bearish mode. Russell, same difference here. I mean, there's not as strong a support level in here, but, coming off here, it would have to be around about 2088. Resistance is really strong around 2098. So that's where that is. Other than that, the Russell to really start kicking again is a long way off. Has to get above 2126 on a closing basis. Other than that, I will be watching for the rollover in the Russell. The VIX still, it dropped yesterday, but still staying elevated because of CPI tomorrow. Key is 15 and then 1550 today. I doubt it will break above 1550 unless something comes out suddenly. There's nothing projected, but 15 on any kind of pullback just with some boredom would be key support. The DAX, nothing yet. There's only this now watching. So it's in a corrective flagging pattern, but if you're looking for a potential bullish thing on the DAX, it has got below the 75. So it's a double within a flagging pattern. And I would definitely use conservative targets on this one. So that could take you back, to the 87.5 area. But I'd then be watching for the follow through with that a close at least above 18,649 to shift the probabilities besides the double. So the double, in order to trigger at least a 4-hour close above 18,574, and then that could be to retest the high area. and also still hold the rotation zone on the daily time frame with cycles at the bottom. So that's the only thing I'm seeing on the DAX. The notes, besides the trying to fill the gap down between Friday and Monday, not really much to talk about. That's going to just wait on CPI again. The yields pulling back. Key support with the rising rotation zone, and this is a key breakout area. So key support coming in about 3.43 to 3.34 to 3.36. Morning, Heinrich. Morning, Christoph. There's Sterling chiming in. Range-bound days are great for selling zero-day iron condors if there's a decent amounts of IV. Hey, good morning, Anissa. Thank you. What else do we have today? Dollar index pulling back. Keeping a real close eye because I'm also keeping more so an eye on the euro. This is not a double because it exceeds that. The key level, though, for if the dollar is going to find some strength before the CPI, it has to get back above 104 before I'm looking at any move here. Other than that, it's coming in a very key support area. And if we break below this 200 area, this 103.40, we could see then another dollar top being at least put in the short term. However, it's going to have to react with tomorrow's numbers. Crude, this is a little sloppy because it's getting extended, but you know, you got a little potential breakdown. If it keeps moving to the left, it's going to keep dropping in probabilities. Also, it's against the rotation zone. So the key area I'd be looking at really is this 83.50 on any pullback. 83.50. On the breakout, let's just see where the most recent harmonics take us. The most recent harmonics, the forward and reverse. So I'd really be focusing on this little about 88.50 area would be my key area. Gold that keeps on chugging, getting insanely overbought going into the CPI number. So if CPI prints in line or dovishly, we could at least see a short-term top in gold. We'll have to watch for that. Other than that, it's in trailing mode, and there is no major topping pattern. The key area I'd be watching today is about 23.63. Silver keeps on marching along too. Nothing's changed with that. Next target, 28.73. Copper keeps on marching into major resistance. I can't stress enough. Now, it broke above. Let's see how today closes, because this could be the highest closing level since back in June of 22. It's going to be very important to watch the close today for copper. But this 435 is also key going in there because it could spike up there, especially tomorrow, and then reverse. It needs a key close above that also to really sustain the breakout move. The yen's still basing. Yen's still basing. Everything's just like coiled for a move. 151.65 is the key support level, but nothing really changes unless it breaks below 150.80. Euro, I'm keeping a very close eye on this because major component of the dollar index already come up to you can see here, the 62.5 and pausing right here. So I'm going to be watching 108.85 on a closing basis today. Key support back at 108.35. The spiders coming up, hitting off yesterday, hitting off the 62.5 with a little close down. That 62.5 level is 520.16. We're pre-market 520.45. The next level is 521.65 and then 523.13. I mean, we're seeing if we follow through today, especially with the daily close above that 62.5. If we roll over and break below that 520 area, be looking at first to the open of yesterday, 519.15, and then to the close, 518.72. The key support area is about 518.25. The Qs, the key closing area is still 444. Gap up today, 442, roughly 443. So 444 is the resistance area. And then 445.87. Key support, if it breaks down, this 442.50, and then it would be to yesterday's open, 440.60, and then to the closing price. Sorry, to the open, 440.141, and then to that 440.60. Very key support coming in at 439. Bitcoin, this is a interesting pattern too, a channeling side of the double, but it's getting overextended to the right hand side, but still keeping an eye on this. It's not invalidated yet. What else do we have here? We have Tesla. Still no close above that 62.5. That 62.5 is still right around 175.50. That's the only thing that would watch then to possibly go to 180, 128, and then maybe trigger the double. Other than that, watching still for rollover plays. Nvidia, little minor gap up today, still not triggered the double. We have Microsoft to look at. We have Microsoft still basing, trying to get above the 426, 427 area. If it were to break out, now not expecting that necessarily today, but your next key area is about minors 435, but majors gets into 439.22. So that's the little area I'd be watching there. What else? Apple. We'll take a look at the other stuff, but Apple's still barely holding on. Now you have a little mini double within a double. Maybe that's about the only minor bullish case for Apple. But geez, if this thing breaks, watch out in the market. You got this minor little double right here. And that would only take it back to potentially 175.60. Meta. Meta's still trying to eke out something, but can't. I mean, everything's just waiting. Everything's just waiting. Key support, though, I keep an eye on. It's about this 515. Google. This is a little sloppy, but still qualifies for a potential double top. Now, Google, let's take a look at this real quick, because it's going to need a level, but the invalidation point for it is 157.28. So that's the invalidation point if it trades above 157.28 today. Other than that, it's still, the trend is up, still trying to sustain a breakout. And the next major cluster is right around 160. CCJ is trading lockstep with the uranium. Do you see daily cup and handle? That needs to be a little better formed on a cup. The handle side, I mean, sorry. I mean, you got the rounded base. You need a little better forming at that cup. But, you know, if it breaks above, if you start getting a break above, you know, this 50 area, that's just a breakout play regardless. So, and uranium, you know, still trying to get up here also, but that could be another significant breakout play. So keep an eye on those for the longer term. All right, let's just see what this. My advice today is just don't do silly ahead of the CPI numbers. Now, here's an example. See, we're breaking above this key area, but it needs to come back and retest and rotate on back up. You know, for me, again, I'd rather miss a trade than get in something and have a slam reverse going into the open. So that's where we sit right now. Not much else for me to talk about, so I will wrap it up early today, and I'll see everybody for the CPI numbers tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful trading day. Bye for now.